Evan, what's the current status of your team, and what are you able to do? How many players do you have available? What's the update?
Well, a couple things. Happy MLK Day to everyone, and we're trying. Look, we're trying to get on the court, and it's been a challenge. When we got back from Florida State the next morning on that Thursday, we had a tier one person who was positive called in and said he had some symptoms, and obviously we automatically got him tested, and unfortunately that test came back as positive. And then obviously we've been testing for the last 3 or 4 days in a row just to make sure that it wouldn't change. And unfortunately for us, a couple of days after that, we had another one of our party test positive also. And so we tested this morning. We're going to test tomorrow. We're going to test Wednesday, and hopefully we try to figure it out. Right now, I have at least 5 people in our tier one that's is quarantine or a part of COVID-19, and so that's the toughest thing for us. It's been a little frustrating, but who am I to get frustrated with what we have going on around the country? And I pray for everybody that's going through some of this stuff.
Coach, I'm curious if you have any updates on Manny Bates and Braxton Beverly. Do you suspect that those guys will be ready to go whenever you guys return to action?
Yeah, I hope so. Both of those guys are pretty banged up, and obviously Braxton's is because he's been playing for 4 years and he's always played hurt, and obviously he's a tough dude. It's hard for him to even sit out games, and he won't tell you. That's the problem is, we have to pry it out of him when something's wrong, because he won't step up and say, "Hey, coach, I'm hurt," and he's just not built that way. I'm hopeful for both of those guys. I would say Braxton's a little bit more ahead than Manny. When we'll have both of those guys on the court, I don't know. Our intentions, obviously, because we missed the Georgia Tech game and now Virginia because of this, we have full intentions on trying to be ready to go on Saturday. But of course, a lot of that's going to come down to whatever happens with the contact tracing and the virus. It won't be because of a guy out because of injury. It'll definitely be whether we play or not because of the virus. When you look at Florida State situation, and by the way, that day I thought they could have beat the Lakers the way they played against us. They were tremendous. But we don't know, and you don't know everybody's program or who actually has to pause. And are they being able to practice? Are there quarantine days? And so I think everybody falls in a different category. In Florida State's situation, I think they had a good amount of days where they can practice. They're prepared for that because they play 10 guys, and so you got 10 to 12 guys that are all, in his mind, have 2 different sets of starters, where those guys' competition in practice is pretty doggone good, where they get a chance to compete against each other. But I don't think that there's any formula. I've seen a couple guys come off and been really good. One was Florida State we played against early in the year. I think Gonzaga did it. But most teams, I would say most teams that I've seen have struggled after having a layoff. We've been very limited. After we had our positive after Florida State, we were obviously going to practice because we had 2 days in between before Georgia Tech, and we had to take a day off, and then we got back in with limited amount of guys to be able to get some shots up. I'm scheduled to go at some point today, but obviously I'm still trying to figure out who can go and who cannot go. And I think that's the biggest challenge. I know from where you guys sit, one of our biggest issues with the virus is the contact tracing piece. And then certainly if somebody else turns positive, just trying to figure out who has to sit and who has to be able to play. The other part of it is we've asked our guys to try to protect the entire program. If you have some symptoms during the day or the night, please let us know, and we're going to be very cautious about not putting that person around anybody in the program. So don't have a full team as of now. Some of that is because a couple guys were holding out because of injuries, but trying to get back to a full strength team. I've asked these guys, and I know you guys have talked to all of the coaches, I've asked these guys to be ready to adapt. It's going to be different. we're all facing something that we've never seen before. And obviously, games are going to be played. They're going to be cancellations. There are going to be some makeup games. And so, for the most part, I think our guys are understanding. Right now, my main focus for them is obviously trying to get them prepared to be ready to go tomorrow because we start second semester academically. And obviously, we want to be ready whenever we get the opportunity to get back on the court. And whenever that presents itself, we'll be ready to play.
Today tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat, and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
Your life is more flexible and efficient now than ever before. And your energy is too. North Carolina's 26 electric cooperatives are building a brighter future for the rural people, communities, and businesses we serve. With reliable, sustainable, innovative energy and continued commitment to economic development and community support in this decade and beyond. Learn more at ncelectriccooperatives.com/brighter.
At BMW, we didn't make just one SAV, we made the ultimate range of SAVs. With unmatched power, luxury, and performance, the BMW X-Range is prepared for any road you travel. No matter who you are, no matter where you're going, no matter what's next, there's an X to take you there. Hurry in to lease a 2021 BMW X3 S-Drive 30i for $459 a month.
You never know what's around the corner. That's why Ford is built for what's next. Rough terrain, we can help tackle it. A lot going on around you, we can help you focus. Driver in your blind spot, we can help you spot them. And to help you prepare for what's next, your Carolina Ford dealers are offering great deals on America's best-selling brand. Now get a 2020 Escape with 0 for 60 or get a 2020 Explorer with 0 for 72, only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Hey, my name is Joseph, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A nuggets is they're so good every single time. You bite into that nugget, and it's just so crispy, but somehow juicy, that perfect balance. And then if you just grab a couple sauces, you're gonna be in heaven.
Hey, I'm Chambray, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese is how rich and cheesy it is. I just scoop the crispy top, and it's so good. It's so homey. It's like, wow, thank you. I needed that.
Hope everybody's well. Obviously, we've been off for 10 days, and I hope we don't play like we've been off for 10 days. And I know I'll get a bunch of questions about Manny Bates. You know, he was able to go through some individual workouts the last couple of days. I'm going to try to throw him into some live action today and kind of see how he does. A lot of that will determine whether he plays in the game tomorrow or not. You know, obviously he had a grade 2 ankle sprain that was pretty good, and one of the biggest things that we battle with him is trying to keep the swelling down. But doing well. We're rusty. We haven't had, you know, a full group of guys to be able to practice every day. We have been able to get back into the gym with a good bulk of them, but certainly we're coming off a layoff. I will tell you this, we will have more guys than we had than when we traveled to St. Louis. And so that's a positive thing. These pauses are weird because what happens is when you have somebody who comes down as a positive, the first thing you have to do is you have to pause. You pause for a couple of days just to figure out, who's caught up in contact tracing. And so at that point, you're not able to have anybody on the court because you want to be careful and make sure that, nobody's able to, who may have had contact can pass along to anybody else. And so it takes you a couple of days after that. And then obviously during those couple of days, we are testing. So it's weird. I don't know the difference, meaning how many days compared to how many days we had before. What I can tell you now, I would say it's probably been half that time, maybe a little over, maybe 6 days or so. And I think by the time we play would have been 12 days before we could get on the court. I know a lot of people will write, man, the offense always struggles. If you look at us for my last 4 years, including this year, 3 to 4 years, we've always been one of the highest scoring teams in our league, which is mind-boggling. That I don't think that we've created as much turnovers, especially in league play, off our defense, so we're not getting out in transition well. And then when you look at our numbers, defensive rebounding, they've gotten better, but initially early on they wasn't as good. And so in order to get out and run and get some easier baskets, you have to defensive rebound, and we hadn't done that, and it's hurt us a little bit more with Manny being out. This is a pandemic. There's no training for this, as you know. We're blessed and fortunate in athletics that you can test a little bit more frequently than most people. You have to think about this now. When you travel, you're talking about the airplane. When you land, you talk about the buses that you have to ride, from the airport to the hotels. You think about the meeting rooms. You think about when you eat, anytime that you meet for meals. And so at any point, all of those could be contacts. And so it just affects your whole program. It's the right thing to do. We have to do it, but you can't get any consistency and you can't get a flow in your team, because on any given day, you can release 1 or 2 guys this day. The next day, you can release another guy. So it's tough. I've had more Zoom calls with our players saying, hey guys, I just want to give you an update. This is what's going on. This game's going to be canceled. Here's what's happening right now. And so we've done that more than I've ever had to do in the past. When we shut down, last year, that was worst. And, even though our country is a lot worse off than it's been ever, we are having the opportunity to play, and I don't take that for granted. Our players don't take it for granted. I heard one of my older upperclassmen yesterday tell our guys, man, hey, we don't know if this thing is going to end tomorrow or whatever, so we got to obviously practice and play like it's our last opportunity. So I don't think it's worse than I thought. It is worse because the virus has spread so much and we can't control it. But from our standpoint, getting the opportunity to play has been a positive thing for us.
I'm Jason Waller, founder of Power Home Solar, America's fastest growing solar energy company. And today it's time to lower those energy costs. Let's say your energy bill's $200 a month. Power Home Solar can lower and reduce those bills to almost $0 a month, saving you thousands of dollars a year. Right now you can use our finance option for zero money down, plus take advantage of our stimulus package worth $2,000 cash back. Power Home Solar, let the sun shine in.
Today tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat, and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
Your life is more flexible and efficient now than ever before. And your energy is too. North Carolina's 26 electric cooperatives are building a brighter future for the rural people, communities, and businesses we serve. With reliable, sustainable, innovative energy and continued commitment to economic development and community support in this decade and beyond. Learn more at ncelectriccooperatives.com/brighter.
No matter what walk of life you're in or from, that makes no difference. Your background makes no difference. It's that you need and deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. So that's a very foundational part of our organization. Doing what you say you're going to do. I think that's what people are looking for. To serve people and add value to their lives, impact their lives, add value to their lives, so they can add value to their lives. It multiplies.
You never know what's around the corner. That's why Ford is built for what's next. Rough terrain, we can help tackle it. A lot going on around you, we can help you focus. Driver in your blind spot, we can help you spot them. And to help you prepare for what's next, your Carolina Ford dealers are offering great deals on America's best-selling brand. Now get a 2020 Escape with 0 for 60 or get a 2020 Explorer with 0 for 72, only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
This portion of Wolfpack Hustle is presented by National Coatings, professional commercial and industrial painters based in Raleigh. Depend on the integrity, quality, and experience of National Coatings. They cover more than just walls. They cover the nation. Visit online at nationalcoatingsinc.com.
As for the pack, the question here, quite simply, can NC State hang in a paint? The big boys from Carolina are bullies on the block. They get after you on the backboard. 41% of possessions, they are generating offensive rebounding opportunities.
This is not just another game for Roy Williams, and he's hoping that his team reflects that in their energy.
Erwin Walton off the mark on his first shot. Braxton Beverly quickly up ahead. Allen lays it in.
For North Carolina ever if they keep the 17.9 pace alive.
Baycott with the left hand.
You know, everyone talks about North Carolina and their freshman, and Day'Ron Sharp, of course, right on cue. You should be talking.
12 points per game.
Well, under 12 points per game because UNC not scoring nearly what they're used to, but Armando Baycott getting off to a great start in this one. And he took that game personally, and he's come out showing that it's personal for him trying to get a win today.
Devin Daniels ties the game at 18.
But also they're going to have to trust him defensively to keep Baycott and Sharp off the glass, and just like that, another turnover that turns into a bucket for NC State guards, because there's so much responsibility put on those guys. But Devin Daniels, who is a fifth-year senior, knocks down a big three. North Carolina.
Baycott, two more. Daniels has it knocked away. It goes right to Funderburk, who lays it in.
Big guys in the game as they share the basketball well, but Armando Baycott coming up with a huge block. block every shot.
On the reverse, another layup for Anthony Harris, who's been quite a spark off the bench this afternoon. Tries to answer and does. Back to a 9-point game. And they will knock off their rivals from Raleigh 86-76 to earn a split of the regular season series.
Hey, my name is Joseph, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A nuggets is they're so good every single time. You bite into that nugget, and it's just so crispy, but somehow juicy, that perfect balance. And then if you just grab a couple sauces, you're gonna be in heaven.
Hey, I'm Chambray, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese is how rich and cheesy it is. I just scoop the crispy top, and it's so good. It's so homey. It's like, wow, thank you. I needed that.
I'm Jason Waller, founder of Power Home Solar, America's fastest growing solar energy company. And today it's time to lower those energy costs. Let's say your energy bill's $200 a month. Power Home Solar can lower and reduce those bills to almost $0 a month, saving you thousands of dollars a year. Right now you can use our finance option for zero money down, plus take advantage of our stimulus package worth $2,000 cash back. Power Home Solar, let the sun shine in.
Today tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat, and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
Your life is more flexible and efficient now than ever before. And your energy is too. North Carolina's 26 electric cooperatives are building a brighter future for the rural people, communities, and businesses we serve. With reliable, sustainable, innovative energy and continued commitment to economic development and community support in this decade and beyond. Learn more at ncelectriccooperatives.com/brighter.
This portion of Wolfpack Hustle is presented by Coca-Cola. No matter your favorite game day food, it'll pair perfectly with a Coke. Together, tastes better.
Well, I thought our guys fought hard. When you look at it, I thought we played a really good, hard, inspiring game. When you look at it, I thought the difference in the game probably was the last 3 or 4 minutes of the first half. Kind of got away from us a little bit. You look at the two guys who I thought really hurt us today on the offensive glass was, Armando Baycoat, who played well, not so much offensive glass, but they scored inside. And then also Davon Sharp. Both of those guys played extremely hard, extremely well, and made a big difference in the game. I thought our guys were playing well. One of the things I told my guys in the locker room just now is, man, you're playing hard, you're competing. This will be, whenever we get back in practice, will be the first time in probably 15 to 16 days that we've had our entire team in there. And so we have to go in there, we got to compare. We got to go in there, we got to get ready for our next game. And, everybody's got to get on the same page. Everybody's got to continue to work. We got to get back in shape and figure everything out. But give Carolina credit, good win on their home floor. I think more so our rhythm and timing and just guys being on the floor playing together. Not only were we on a pause, that's the tough thing about it. And certainly everybody's going through this. But we were all Manny Bates. And honestly, I played him a lot more minutes than I ever expected. Yesterday was his first time having contact. And since he sprung his ankle, I think it was at the end of the Miami game. But Paul's is hurt. And here's the crazy thing, coaches, we love to have control, but we cannot control what happens with this virus. So, it's unfortunate because we may have another one. We could have one in the next couple of days. certainly it's no excuse, but every coach I think in the country is going to go through this. Your team is just not the same team when you don't have a chance to practice as much as you can be. And you have to live with that. You got to get better. You got to live with it and try to figure it out.
What we really, made a factor in the main point after this loss today, this is the point of the season where we have to really focus in the now. We can't just keep saying, okay, next game, we're going to do this, do that. No, we got to start making a change now. We don't want to be a team that gets used to losing. Like, okay, we're going to go out there, play hard, play basketball, but, if we lose, okay, it's whatever. No, we're better. We are a better team than that. And, we got to start doing, the little things. We got to start running hard. If we lose a game in practice and we have to run afterwards, we got to run those sprints hard. We got to lift hard. We just got to do everything with more enthusiasm, with more passion, and we just got to bring it together as a group. And I feel like we can. So,
man, it's tough. I've tried to be there for our guys in so many ways. The mental part of this thing and the stress of having to quarantine for 7 days, 14 days, 10 days has been really tough on these kids. I don't know how anybody can judge a young man about how he plays in these unusual circumstances. And, I get it. Obviously, because you play a part of a team and you're part of a college and you're supposed to represent your school the best way, but it's so unusual. I want you to think about, walking into, you getting recruited into a place like NC State, and you typically play in front of 21,000 people, especially during conference. And we've led been a top 10 team in the country in attendance since '99. But you walk out there to play a game and you walk out there and there's nobody there. Nobody thinks about that part of it. The other part of it is having to navigate, not having a relationship with anybody. As a freshman, when you come in, you don't even have a relationship with anybody that's part of your classmates that may not play basketball. You don't get the chance to see anybody unless it's online. And so it's so difficult that basketball players and basketball coaches are creatures of habit. And when you take that away, it makes for a stressful year and stressful situation for most of them. Some people are doing well in it, but most are struggling. And I try to, make sure that we have great sports psychiatrists that if our guys need to have a chance to sit down and talk with someone, coaching staff, we've been more, hey, reach out to these guys, talk to them at night, try to FaceTime them, try to do as many Zooms as you can, because it's so bigger than when you get them outside of basketball than that 2 hours you may have.